Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's workshop. We're very excited that you could all be here with us. It's a special series. This is already night number 3. I just want to give you a little bit of background before we jump over to our presenter for tonight. So these career exploration series is part of the JCC Workforce Program, which is a free program dedicated to helping people in this community find jobs and get onto a career path that will bring them parnasa, baharchava, Imrit Hashem. Year round, we're here. We have career counseling, we have interview prep, we have resume writing assistance, we have a job counselor on staff who's in touch with companies and helps people, works with people to try to land them jobs. This is something we could help with at any day of the year, and you could reach out to us at any time here, as you could see, at workforce@jccgci.org. We'll be happy to be in touch with you and help you with all of your job and career needs. So this series that we're presenting here during these challenging times that we're in right now, we thought it would be a good time to give people a chance to get, to explore different possibilities that are out there in terms of career paths that have good potential and also are accessible for people in our community. So tonight, I'm actually very excited. I got a chance to get to know our presenter, Danny, almost 2 years ago. Danny is a SEO professional. He does it for a living, and not only does he do it for a living, he's also a professor of marketing at a college, and he'll discuss that himself. And so he teaches this and he lives it, and he's very passionate, and he's an amazing presenter. And I asked him, I said, can you please come tonight? He's going to share, give you an overview of what life in the SEO position is like. What are the possibilities? How do you train yourself to get into that? What can you make? Can you make a good living doing this job? And all of those types of things. I wanted him to discuss it. So just to remind you, the format of our webinar is always 20-minute presentation followed by a 10-minute Q&A session. So for those of you that are watching this live, if you'd like to come in and post questions, send us an email, as we have it up over there on COL, workforce@jccgci. We'll send you login credentials so you could come into the conversation here and post questions, or you could just send us those questions via email and we'll post them over to Danny. And so without further ado, I'm sure it's going to be a treat for you. I'm going to give the controls over to Danny, who will share with us from his wisdom. So Danny, please introduce yourself.
Excellent. Just give me one sec. Can you see my screen? Okay, I assume you can see it. All right, cool. So good evening, everyone. My name is Danny Gavin. As you can see, I'm a rabbi and a professor, which is fun. The best way to get a hold of me is my Twitter handle @DannyGavin, or on LinkedIn, you can get me dannygavin.me. I've been in the SEO digital marketing space for over 9 years, almost 10 years now. The name of my company is Optage, which is a full-service digital marketing agency. Plus, I'm a professor of digital marketing at the University of Houston. I teach 2 courses. One is SEO and search engine marketing, and the other one is social media marketing. My classes are very focused on the practical aspects of the practical applications. So it's not just about learning the theory, but it's about teaming up my students with real life businesses so that they can actually go ahead and, while they're learning, actually implement what they're doing. So hopefully we can get a taste and some of that tonight. Those are my kids. All right, so here's our agenda for tonight. I just have slides. They don't have a ton of information, but at least it can keep us track on where we're going and what we're talking about. So, the title is SEO, and I do little more than just SEO. But from an SEO perspective, what do we do? Our main job is to get websites for people to come and find your website. So the idea is that you have products and services that you want found on Google. And the only way for your website to be found on Google is if you do the right things to your website to make sure that it's optimized and that when people are searching for your products and services, Google decides to show your website versus someone else's. So when we look at SEO, it's a lot of it is very technical, but as we'll discuss throughout the evening tonight, we're also going to say that it also has a creative side to it. Related to SEO, there is also digital advertising, which is like a cousin, and that is, running Google ads or Facebook ads, Instagram ads to get traffic that way. SEO focuses more on the organic side of things. And then you've got the other paid side, but they're kind of related. And a lot of people focus on both. Some specialize just in one area or the other, but a lot will go ahead and do both at the same time. So as we move on, what programs do we use? So being an SEO, being someone who optimizes websites, there are a lot of different tools. It would be great if there was just one tool that did everything, but really, me and people in my company, we focus on a lot of tools. So here's just a list of different things, but a great tool that one can use is called Ubersuggest, which is actually a free tool. And the basics of SEO are keywords, figuring out what are the keywords that people are searching for and making sure that your website shows up for those. Ubersuggest has a free keyword tool generator, so it can help you find keywords and figure out what are people searching for. There's other paid tools like SEMrush, which will analyze your website and see what does it need to, what are the things that you have to fix in order that it will show up better. Screaming Frog is a similar tool, doing a deep dive. When it comes to websites, it could be anything from technical issues set up in the wrong way, or do you not have the right content, or do you not have the right publicity? Are there not enough other websites that are linking back to your website for your website to be shown? Ahrefs is another one, and OnCrawl. A lot of these are paid tools, but there are tools out there which are free or at a low cost, so that someone who's trying to learn and get into SEO and search engine optimization, so that they can start working through it. Another really big and important tool, which kind of goes unnoticed, but is Microsoft Excel, because we do a lot with data and analyzing data, and the easiest and most efficient place to do that is going to be using Microsoft Excel. So a really good skill to have, whether you're in SEO or in business in general, is Excel. So anyone who's looking to get into business and getting to work, one of the foundational skills is take an Excel course, learn the basics. How do you do a VLOOKUP? How do you create a pivot table? How can I compare data in two different sheets? That's something that's going to help you in finance. It helps you in accounting, but it also helps you in SEO, analyzing data, clicks and trends and different things like that. So in conclusion, there are a lot of free tools out there, but as you grow, there are some paid tools that you have to get, you have to sign up and get involved with. A lot of them you don't have to buy for a year, but you get like a month subscription. So let's say you're just working on a project and you don't need this tool, for 12 months, you could buy 1 month, use it, and go for that. So what is the demand for SEO? It's huge. I mean, especially now you can imagine COVID, but everyone's jumping online. People who are not able to sell, in a brick and mortar situation, they need to get online. And whether you're someone who has an e-commerce store, whether you are someone who works with B2B, you sell to different businesses, whether you sell courses or events, the bottom line is the number one place that people go to search for things is Google. So why not have a presence there? And if you think about it, Google, different than other platforms, is Google is where people are coming to find something. So it's not like you have to interrupt them. Traditional advertising, we're often interrupting people. They're in the middle of their day, and we're interrupting them with a message. It might be a really good message, but I'm not into it. Google, people are proactively looking, they're searching for your service. So we want to be there at that moment in time and be the one that they choose to do business with. So every business really needs SEO. And when it comes to the world of digital marketing, that it's a really boosting sector. There's no shortage of jobs, and especially people who are really good at what they do, there's a high demand. So it's definitely an area that one should think about getting into, whether it's SEO in particular, or it's digital marketing, Google ads, Facebook ads. It's all a really great area that one can go into. The only caveat I would say is our friends in the Amazon world who don't believe in a website and want to sell everything on Amazon. They might be like, hey, why do I need a website? But between you and me, even those people who sell on Amazon, it makes sense to have a website as well, so that you don't have to pay all those fees to Amazon. So next question, what types of jobs are there? So I have a list of the top 5 digital marketing jobs in 2019. So that's first is digital marketing manager. That's someone who's kind of more of a generalist. They might be managing specialists or kind of have knowledge of everything. An SEO and SEM specialist means someone who's really specialized in SEO, the organic side, making your website show up, and SEM is more of the paid side, like Google Ads and different ads like that. Social media marketers, people who are running social media campaigns, whether that's paid campaigns or organic, posting to Facebook and Instagram, that's also a hot job right now. Content manager. The backbone of SEO is not just technical and keywords, but a lot of it is the content that you produce. What do you have? The articles? Do you have the things that people are looking for? So I cannot push it even, more, but someone who has a skill to write, I really feel like they can be one of the best SEOs out there. Once you learn the way to optimize and the techniques, but you have the power to write, when you put those two together, you could be unstoppable. And there are really many, many opportunities for you. And then email marketing, a lot of people think it's dead, but it's really not. It's still a viable option to get your website out there and for sales and to interact with people. And that's another way for people to get involved in this area. Focusing more on SEO. So, you could focus more on the technical side. So if you're a programmer, you like code, then you can be in that arena. Content writers, like we spoke about, PR and outreach, if you're more about in public relations or outreach, one of the aspects of SEO is how do I let people know about my website so that they go ahead and link back to my website? Having links from other websites to your website, specifically when those other websites are highly related, or they're, that provides a lot of value to your site, and it will help push your website up into the rankings. If you're more of the analytical side, there's jumping into the data, analyzing where are people coming from, what do they do on the website, what should we change? It's people who manage ads, and then even designers. So if you think about it, SEO could be everything that you do, or it could be a tool in your tool belt if you do one of these other things that will enhance your job. There's sometimes, especially when you deal with big organizations, often SEO is something everyone needs to know about. The programmers, the designers, they really all need to be up to date on what is required to make a website search engine friendly. So often the SEO role in a large company is to be the evangelist and to educate everyone about it. Yes, you're going to do the things that you're going to do, but you also have to get buy-in to make sure everyone's doing that they have to focus. Because just because you know how to program a website or you're an IT guy does not mean you know what it means for a website to be friendly, search engine friendly. So how much does SEO pay? So, it really depends. Getting a job in a company, SEOs can start out at 60,000, 70, 80, when you get into SEO and then you move up and you get into more general marketing, that could lead to being a marketing manager, and even moving up to a VP of marketing or eventually a CMO, which those can go up to 125, 150, 200. The other option when it comes to SEO is opening up your own agency, like I did, figuring out, starting to learn about it. And in a little bit, we'll talk about how can you learn about optimizing websites and digital marketing, but going ahead and learning about it. And so how do we start off? I mean, we'll talk about how to learn about it, but once you do, go check out your friend's website, look at the source code, run some of the crawlers on it, see the problems, go in, see if you can fix it. Start to build up that portfolio, which we're going to talk about, of being able to go into a website, diagnose the problems and fix it and see results. Once you do that, you can start doing it for other people. So to go ahead and create a little SEO, a digital marketing business, it's not the most complicated thing in the world. Obviously, there's a lot of things to consider, but for someone in the From community to do a little bit of education, to go ahead and start things out. But, when it comes to contracts, sometimes it can be $500 a month from some companies. You could charge $1,000, $2,000. If you're doing really big projects, it could be $5,000. Adding that up together, even if you're a single contractor, can add up to a livable living. Definitely, it's a viable option for many. So whether it's opening up your own agency, doing it on your own, or going ahead and working in a company, those are all options. And the nice thing is that there are many different options. And that moves on to the next point of, I'm not creative, can I still be an SEO? I think the most beautiful thing about marketing, and I usually speak about this at the university level, but people say, oh, let's do finance, let's do accounting. The most beautiful thing about marketing in general, and digital marketing specifically, is there's a range. In our community, we have room for people who are creative, but also people who are analytical. You can design, you can create ads, you can create content, but on the other hand, you can analyze data and optimize. So, some jobs require one side, some require the other, some requires a little bit of both, but there's really room for everyone here. It's not limited to just accounting and numbers and finances, but really, no matter what your specialty is, most of us fall into one of those two buckets. Some of us can do both, but there's room for everyone. So I say, to be an SEO, to be a digital marketer, it's viable no matter if you're more of a right brained person or a left brained person. So where can you get educated in the field? So, I teach SEO and digital marketing at the university level, but that's not the only way that you can learn. The internet has a wealth of information when it comes to digital marketing and SEO. I've got a slide here. I'm going to move on to the next page, but this is a slide. I don't even remember where I got it from, but this is a list of all the free courses that you can do online when it comes. Google has its own set of courses, and you can actually become Google certified. They're not really focusing more on SEO. They're more on the paid side of things, so like Google Ads and analytics. But I mean, those are all free courses, and you can sign up. I think it's called Google Skill Shop. It's no longer called Academy for Ads, but you can go in, take the courses, and become certified. Now, obviously, certification is just the foundation, right? It's building the foundation of what you have. You still have to go then and do it.
Danny, could I interrupt you for 1 second?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I meant to do this earlier. For all of you that are listening, you should please know that, God willing, next week we're going to be launching an SEO course given by Danny himself. It's going to be 8 weeks, 2 nights a week, 36 hours. It's a free course. And please reach out to us at the workforce at jccgci.org if you'd like to join. So Danny, please take it away again.
Yeah, I guess I should have mentioned my course first. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that. So, if you're not going to join my course, but if you look here, you can see there's many opportunities of different, there's tons of YouTube videos, but even without that, there are structured courses to learn what's going on, and you really can get a lot of information. Now, how do you become a good SEO? How do you become a good digital marketer? It comes with experience. So even if you have the knowledge, you still have to go out there and try and do. But to at least get your foot in the door, and people are looking for people with certifications and looking for, oh, you understand inbound marketing, you know what to do, come and help me. And I think there's a lot of opportunity. So this is just a way to jump in and to start teaching yourself. Having an amazing portfolio, once again, that's truly how you're going to be successful. The hardest part about getting a job is you need the job before the job. I have that with my students. How do we get a job? They require 2 years experience. They require 1 year experience, but how do I get that experience beforehand? So, sometimes we just have to hunker down, take our knowledge, and sometimes, reach out to people. Like I said, especially with here, you have access to the whole internet. Businesses that you can check out their website. Do they have problems? Maybe you have an idea for them. Approach them, work on a small project. There's lots of opportunities to do different things, but sometimes you have to work free for a little bit or work on the side and start to build up that portfolio. But it's definitely possible, and it's not like, where do I start? It's literally a matter of finding that site, finding that business that you think you can help, pick up a phone. It requires a little sales, but you can do it. You can do it, and you can get there. Or just it's about having that interview and saying, hey, I've got all this knowledge behind my belt. I know that I might not have that experience yet, but I definitely have the drive, and I'm ready to go ahead and and to work hard. So there definitely is a path, but as with everything, anything that's good, it's hard, and it takes some time and effort to get there. So we'll end off with contracts and deposits. So, when it comes to SEO, whether you're the guy selling the service or you're a businessman looking to buy a service, as with most services, there's going to be a contract or a deposit. Typically there are companies out there that like to lock people down, where it's like, we're going to lock you down for 12 months and you have to pay us. I personally don't like doing business that way, although it makes things a lot more predictable. But one thing that we have to talk about, which we didn't mention in SEO, is SEO, a lot of it has to do with Google. And Google is updating their algorithm all the time. Things change. You might be on the top of Google today and you drop to position 5 tomorrow because something switched. So there's a lot of art and finesse to it, where things change and a lot of things are out of your control. So if you think about it, it's like a foundation for Emunah and Bitachon. But really, a lot of the things we do, we don't necessarily know if it's going to work, and if it does, how long it's going to work. So when getting into a contract with someone, if you're tied down to 12 months and it seems like that they're not going to do a good job, sometimes it's not going to work so well. So usually you should expect some sort of clause, like a 30-day out or a 60-day out, where if you see things aren't really going so well, at least there's a way to get out. But it is normal to have a contract. There is a minimum requirement, especially when you're selling SEO. SEO is not a one-time thing. There are certain things that you can do one time, but it really is an ongoing thing. It's like, I like to explain for all the real estate people out there. When we look at SEO, it's like investing in real estate. You've got those people in real estate who are able to flip houses right away, but often when you buy real estate, it's for that long term. Paid ads, there you expect a return right away, kind of like short-term investing in the stock market or different things like that. But when it comes to real estate, buying a property for 20 years, SEO is something that you have to do for an ongoing basis. You have to continue producing content for your website. You have to continue optimizing it. What are people doing? So it takes time. So that's, that is a challenge that is there. But when you're speaking to someone, you have to make sure that they understand, yeah, this isn't immediate. It's going to take some time, and we'll go there. And that's why often when you're selling SEO, it's always good to potentially add other services as well, like PPC or Google Ads, where you see results a lot quicker and faster, and that can kind of balance things out. As your SEO grows, your paid programs and your paid ads, you could either turn down or keep going if they're profitable. And you could expect deposits as well. When it comes to SEO contracts, often someone will want to take a little bit of money up front if they're doing a big, if they're doing a long project. That's very typical with any sort of like graphic design or website design product. You're going to be paying, some sort of deposit at the forefront. So that's pretty much the end of my overview of SEO. But as Rabbi Werdy said, that we are going to be offering a free 8-week SEO course. It's going to be 2 nights a week, going over not just SEO, but also Google Ads and Facebook advertising, and it should be a really good time. And you should be able to learn a lot. So I look forward to having some of you joining us throughout those weeks.
Okay. First of all, Danny, thank you. For everyone that's listening, Danny lives in Houston, Texas. He's an hour behind us. And he took off from his valuable time to do this tonight. And thank you very much. It was a beautiful presentation. We're opening up the Q&A. I actually would like to start off. For those of you that are watching live, again, send that email to us at workforce@bbjtc with your questions, and we'll address them for the next few minutes. So I'll start off the question. It seemed to me that you spoke mostly about SEO marketing like it was more of a self-employed industry. In other words, do companies hire people in-house for SEO, or is that not common? Can you get a job, or being an SEO means that you have to work for yourself?
So I'm sorry if I gave off that impression. I guess I'm just passionate about people having their own jobs, but no, people and companies are looking for SEO. They are looking for digital marketers. Like I said, there are a lot of job opportunities out there. Sometimes the title might not say SEO. It might be like digital marketing manager or an internet marketing analyst. But when it comes to digital marketing jobs, whether it's fully SEO or it requires some of the other skills, there are lots of jobs out there.
Okay, now I want to clarify, because I mean, we call this SEO. Digital marketing is much broader. We didn't really touch on, in terms of digital marketing, there's so much more skill sets besides the ones that were brought up tonight. So, if someone's hunting out there for looking at SEO positions, do people market it as SEO positions, or do they market as digital marketer positions? And does that mean that a person has to learn much more than the stuff that you discussed about tonight?
So I think there are both. There are definitely SEO positions out there where the job title says SEO manager, SEO.
Danny? Hello? Danny, I think your internet connection just went. All right, we're gonna, let's give him a minute to come back on. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for Danny, because we sort of just lost him, I'd like to just quickly discuss the courses. So actually next week, God willing, we're launching 4 simultaneous. With Danny, we lost you. Hold on 1 second. We'll come back in a second. I just want to,
Sure.
since you froze, I'm just going to talk about these next week. We're launching 4 free courses for the community. QuickBooks, SEO, marketing, coding and programming, Microsoft Office, Word, and Excel. The QuickBooks and the Microsoft Word are Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 to 10. The SEO, marketing, the coding and programming are on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. through online. If you're interested in any of these courses, they're free, and you just have to register, and you could be part of them. So if for any of you out here that have interest in these trainings, which really could give you some good skills to jumpstart you in any one of these fields, please reach out to us. Again, we're here the year round to help you with your job and career needs. And we're, especially during this time right now that we're in COVID-19, we'd like to do everything we can to help you to get yourself ready to land. And as soon as the economy comes roaring back, Amrit Hashem, you'll be able to jump in. Oh, so Danny, continue what you were saying. We lost you, you for about a minute or two. So you finish the thought that you were saying before. Danny?
Sure. Can you hear me, Shua?
Yes. Now I hear you. Go ahead. Please come back.
Yeah, there's
your video camera is off also.
I turned the video off just in case so it doesn't cause any problems with the internet.
Okay. Yes.
But so what I was saying is that there are SEO jobs out there that specifically say SEO in the title, SEO manager, SEO analyst. Sometimes it will be more like content marketing manager. So there definitely are the jobs that only focus on SEO. But to be fair, there are also the jobs where it's going to be more general. Well, they want SEO and also Google Ads and maybe a little social media. But there is an opportunity that if you get good at SEO or understand it, there are jobs just for that area as well.
Okay, and one question that just came in, and I know you touched on it earlier, but if somebody wanted to like get a little practice on their own, is there places where you could practice these types of skills, or if people have their own like little websites, what could they do to test out their SEO skills, so to say?
Yeah, so that's why I say it's purely, it's purely a situation of everyone has their shul. They've got their people there, and seeing what are their websites, taking their website and analyzing it, doing an audit, doing some keyword research, and then reaching out to them and say, hey, I think I can help you. I think I can do things, and then apply some of those fixes and strategies and get that skill. So I think it's it's not like as simple as just take a course and get it done. You might have to go outside of yourself a little bit, but definitely there are opportunities all around you. You just have to grab it.
Okay, another question that came in was, do you have to have a college level English in order to be able to do these things?
There are parts of area. Well, it's funny because everyone says college level English, but I teach in college and people in college don't always have a college level English. So let's just clarify that. But even without that, no, because some parts of SEO are very writing focused. Then you just won't focus on those areas. You're going to focus more on the technical side, on the analysis side, on the numbers. How can I optimize? You don't have to necessarily be someone who's really good at writing. It helps, but writing is just one part of it. There's plenty of other things that you can focus on that don't require a high level of English.
Okay, and a final question that came in, this is this is more of like a philosophical sort of question. Is there personality traits that help you be an SEO marketer type? Like what's like if a person, is trying to decide for themselves if this is the right industry for them, are there certain, are there traits that a person could identify in themselves to say, yes, this is the right industry for me to go into?
Well, it's funny because like everyone in my office, we call ourselves nerds. So I guess if you're more of the nerdy type, it works well. But I mean, really, it's a matter of like I said, there's a range. You can be a very creative type. You could be more of an analytical type. Um, Obviously, you're going to be dealing with a computer more than dealing with people. But sometimes it's as mere as if you understand SEO well, maybe you can't do it yourself, but maybe you could sell it, right? You could then be working in an agency or in a business selling the service or selling something related to that. So I think there's room for all, but obviously if you're more of an outgoing type and might not be for you, but however, even then, like some SEOs are more internal and don't have to deal with a lot of people. Others are more external because they're dealing with different stakeholders. So I'm not just saying it, I really feel like there's room for everyone on the spectrum to find a place when it comes to SEO.
Okay, and awesome. And then another final question, and we'll call it a night with this. Is knowing Qualtrics a useful skill for SEO? Are you familiar with that, Qualtrics? This is something that came in. I'm not sure. It seems to be like some sort of program. Have you ever heard of that before?
I have. Qualtrics is a customer survey tool. So, surveying customers and is great, right? It's an important part of understanding the experience of a website. What do your customers want? What are they searching for? So I guess it's a tool to help overall web, but I wouldn't say it's like a key tool when it comes to SEO.
So it's a different discipline. It's not an SEO skill. It's more of a customer service skill and a relationships management skill.
Yeah, I'm sure an SEO could take the data that they get from Qualtrics survey and then use it for their website, but it's not a key tool that is required.
Okay. So this has been a wonderful discussion. I'm really fascinated by the world of SEO, and as you saw from this presentation, it really is something that's obtainable if you're fascinated by these things. For those of you, again, that are interested, we're going to be launching a free course on the subject starting next week, and we'd love to have you join. Virtual course. And once again, we're here year-round to help you with your career and job needs, so please reach out to us at any time, workforce@jccgci.org. It's been a pleasure. We want to wish you all a wonderful Shabbos, and we'll be back next week Sunday, and next week Monday, and next week Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to do this series. We're continuing for another week and a half, and we're going to be exploring many other exciting industries. So next week Sunday, we're going to be exploring the construction industry. Next week Monday, we're going to be exploring the graphic design industry. Next week Tuesday, we're going to be exploring sales industry. Next week, Wednesday, we're going to be exploring hairstyling and sheitel. And next week, Thursday, we're going to be exploring accounting. And then the following week, we have some more exciting industries. So please, for any of you that are looking to hear what it's like in the life of these different industries, which are, very good industries that our community has found to make a good parnasa, and please tune in. And of course, the recordings will be available post. And we're wishing you all tremendous hatzlacha. Take care. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.